So, is there trouble in paradise for the famous newlyweds already? And what about sibling rivalry? Perry dice. Yeah, we'll get into all that and more inside Murph's Music Roundup. Welcome to my channel, Murph's Music Roundup. My name is Murph. If country music entertainment news is right up your alley, then this is it for you. I'm right here each and every week. I drop the latest in country music entertainment news that happened throughout the week that you may have caught or you may have missed, but I get into a little more detail with it right here on this channel. So if this is your thing, go ahead, smash that like button, subscribe today, send it to a friend, share it. I do appreciate that. And let's round things up. What do you say? Let's kick things off with Colt Ford. This week, he announced to everyone that him and his crew were in a tour bus accident while going to a gig in Germany. Apparently, the accident was so bad that Colt broke his shoulder and had to be rescued through the windshield of the tour bus. And if you check out Colt Ford's social media, you could see he posted a photo of the bus accident with the comment saying, "The crew's a little banged up, but we're still alive." Thankfully, Colt Ford and his crew, including the bus driver, is okay, because all that goes on in my head anytime I hear a tour bus accident is Metallica. And if you're a fan of Metallica, then you know about the bus accident that happened in the 80s while they were on tour, where they lost their bass player, Cliff Burton. But thankfully, everyone's okay in this situation, just a little banged up. So what do you say we move on to the next story, which is kind of humorous, but thankfully, I'm going to preface this by saying he's okay. But artists tend to take a spill on stage sometimes. Post Malone has done it in the past. Luke Bryan is like synonymous for it. He's fallen off the stage and in the pits many times. Well, now there's another member that can be part of that exclusive club. His name, Russell Dickerson. Yeah, he was performing last weekend at Mansfield, Ohio, at the racetrack over there, and he was performing his hit, She Likes It, when he got into it so much that he jumped up on top of the speakers, thinking that the speakers were sturdy, but as soon as he jumped up on there, they started to wobble. Yep, and I'm not talking about the wobble song. I'm talking about the speakers were moving. It wasn't as stable as he thought, and he takes a spill. The speakers fall down. He goes into the pit, but thankfully he got right back up and started singing, continued his song. He was okay. He even had a chuckle about it, a little joke about it on social media posting, and he made fun of himself. You know, as long as you have a good sense of humor about it, and you're okay for that matter, those are the most important things, right? Something tells me Russell Dickerson is going to be a little more careful next time. What do you say we shoot over to the next story with Taylor and Travis? Is there trouble in paradise for the newlywed couple? Well, not exactly. Their marriage is actually going great. The problem is with their pets. You see, a source is coming out and saying that Taylor's 3 cats, Olivia Benson, Meredith Grey, and Benjamin Buttons, seems to be feuding with Travis Kelce's white Samoyed dog. Now, the source is saying that the dog just is full of energy, wants to play every minute of the day, and the cats, well, you know how cats are. They just want to chill, stay private in their own space. I wonder how long they were dating before they introduced the pets with each other, or did they even wait till they just got married? Inquiring minds want to know. But on a good note, this week, Nashville's Songwriting Hall of Fame was announced, and Taylor Swift set a record being the youngest songwriter to be inducted into the class of 2026. She beat out Miranda Lambert, Chris Stapleton, and Phil Vassar. Now, I will preface this by saying Phil Vassar, Miranda Lambert, and Chris Stapleton will all eventually be in the Nashville Songwriters Hall of Fame. But this year, the crown goes to Taylor Swift, Lyle Lovett, Sean Camp, who wrote many hits, including Garth's 2 Pina Coladas, Bruce Channel, Lee Thomas Miller as well, who wrote Trace Adkins' You're Gonna Miss This, and Brad Paisley's I'm Just a Guy. And the ceremony will be held this fall. I wonder if Taylor Swift is going to be representing and showing up. I could see that happening. I could see her doing that. Unless it falls on a game day for the Chiefs. And let's round up Murph's Music Roundup with the final story that just came out. Talk about sibling rivalry going down. You see, once upon a time, the band Perry were on top of the country world. You had the three siblings performing together on stage: Kimberly, Neil, Reed, and all those hits. I'm talking about If I Die Young, You Lie, Better Dig 2, Done, Chainsaw, Don't Let Me Be Lonely. I mean, monster songs. And then in the mid 20 teens, they kind of took a little hiatus. They started exploring more different sounds, like going into the pop world. Didn't really pan out as much as they thought it would. But then they just returned. However, 2/3 of the siblings are not part of the band Perry anymore. You see, Reed and Neil were replaced by Kimberly's husband, Johnny. But here's where it gets a little sideways, because in interviews, Kimberly Perry was talking about how her brothers gave their blessing about Johnny being part of the band Perry and them being excluded from it. But now, brother Neil Perry had something to say about it. He took to social media this week, breaking everything down from his perspective. This is what he wrote. June 2024 took something from me, something I spent my entire life building: a band, a business, a family, a name. My sister wanted her husband to become a member of the band, taking my brother's place. I made it equally clear that I was not okay with that. Then weeks later, I was terminated, the day after my birthday. I never expected my decision not to participate under those circumstances would also mean losing my financial interest and access to the band's platforms, resources, and audience I had spent my life helping build. Then I watched a story emerge that didn't resemble the one I lived. Now, Neil also posted a very telling reel about the viral documentaries that people make with the violin playing some dramatic music. And on the screen, it's Neil sitting down in a chair getting ready for like a Netflix documentary. And it says, preparing for my Netflix documentary from how the band Perry went from 3 siblings to my sister and her husband. Ooh, nasty. Now, as of right now, neither brother Reed or sister Kimberly have responded to any of this. But I could see Netflix jumping all over this and making a documentary out of this. I mean, I could totally see that. This is better than General Hospital and One Life to Live. Do soap operas even exist anymore on TV? I don't even know. And there you have it, rounding up the country music entertainment news for the week with Murph's Music Roundup. I do hope you enjoyed all the stuff we talked about, catching you up on all the country music news that you may have caught or missed throughout the week. And remember, if you do like this stuff that I bring each and every week to this channel, go ahead, hit that follow button, share it with a friend, like, comment below which story you think was your favorite. Also, I'm curious to know, if you comment below, whose side are you taking on the band Perry? Are you taking Sister Kimberly's, or are you taking Neil's side? I'm really interested in knowing. But thanks for taking the time out to watching this. I will catch you next time.